What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this, man. So the champion of the year has been announced, by which Rum Nitty is our 2022 champion of the year. A lot of people are speaking about it because they were very disappointed in what was being said and things like that, and how it played out. They didn't like the panel again. And we're going to talk about some of these things, man, of the champion of the year panel disappointments. So a lot of people in battle rap community was not expecting Rum Nitty to win the champion of the year. They wasn't really expecting him to win. Again, I said this in a previous blog, that because Rum Nitty don't be in a lot of the battle rap mess and BS and spaces and make himself accessible with all the effery that's going on and things like that, because again, he's a father that take care of his children. Like he literally taking care of his children by himself. Like his baby mama passed and he's taking care of those children, man. So that man don't be in the limelight like that just on some effery type stuff. The man just professional. He come to play, and it is what it is. So you don't hear about him throughout the year in mess and controversies, scandals, Twitter posts, jackings, and going at people, and he don't do that type of stuff. And shouts out to him for that, man. He one of the mature brothers in battle rap that you could say, you know what I'm saying, that actually on his grown man type stuff. So as a result of him not, it's like out of sight, out of mind. It took a lot of people by surprise because of the people who have been in the limelight making noise. Shotgun Suge making noise. Swamp making noise. Verb making noise. JC making noise. They forgot about him too. But Surf did him so dirty, the battle rap community thought, that actually wiped away all his things he was doing, going all the way up to Surf. They were saying he was going to be the champion of the year until he went up against Surf. But it is what it is. Back to what we're talking about. So a lot of people, Swamp them all making noise and things like that, to the point that it went under the radar. It took a lot of people by surprise. Once again, shouts out to Rum Nitty for winning champion of the year. But it went by surprise. It took a lot of people by surprise. And a lot of people was unhappy with what was going on the panel. And they some battle rappers demanded changes. It seemed like every time around about this year, these conversations come up in the last couple months of the year. Before that, like in the beginning of the years, before that, nobody really cares about champion of the year like that until the conversation pop up when it's the news now. But for the most part, since champion of the year been mentioning, Geechee Gotti been the only one really thirsty going after that. And what I mean by thirsty, he really making his business to go out that because he been the beneficiary of it every year for the most part. So people who never had it don't understand it. He understand it. So he's motivated to go after of it faithfully, motivated. And if he would have beat Mook, he probably would have got it again. And that hurt him. But for the most part, he like the only one dedicated to winning that thing faithfully at the beginning of the year to the end. Everybody else really don't care about it to the end. However, a lot of people making complaints about it because it's the same panel all the time. France, Tony Bro, them, the same every time. And they want something to change. How do I feel about it? Well, it ain't mine to feel about. It's the URLs. And if the URL allowing Jay Black to make these decisions based upon the thing, because this one of the things that separate his panel from other panels, that he's actually the one that give out this prestigious award every year to the battle rappers on the URL platform that actually uh, bought a lot to the URL. I mean, I can't really say nothing against it. It's a URL award. So it's going to be based upon the things, for the most part, the URL wants. That's their criteria. The Champion of the Year is basically a URL award based upon URL achievements and positioning that they put their battle rappers in. When you look at all the things that matter the most, strength of schedule, your resume, the battles you took, that's all URL. Strength of schedule, URL. They got the best battle rappers on the platform. How many battles you took, that's again on the URL, depending on who they want to book. So if the URL got you in high regard and you the one that they pushing, you're going to be in this conversation because they pushing you. So they're going to keep you on the card with the names needed for you to be in the talks when it's time for this award to be there, to basically put you in position. Because if they not pushing you and they ain't liking you, how you going to get to this? How you going to get in the conversations and talk to this when y'all signed the contracts and can't go nowhere else? You signed the contracts and can't even go nowhere else. Most leagues don't even want to really mess with people that signed to the URL as a result of them being with the URL, because the way the URL doing things now is they trying to put lawsuits on the leagues. So when you look at what's going on, yeah, I see it, battle rap community. And yeah, I understand what y'all talking about. But y'all can't forget, this is a URL award. This is not an honest award to the degree of wanting it to be honest straight down the middle. That's not going to happen. Because if it was honest, just like in other sports, you see how like when the MVP talks come, who all have a say so? All the analysts of the of the NBA, all the sports talkers, the major channels, the major sports people, and the who cover the sport. They all have a say so in voting that. The professionals who understand it, who know how to break down, who actually understands it. That's not the case when it comes to Champion of the Year. When it comes to Champion of the Year, it's based upon friendships and homies. And you can't have the same panel in this sport doing that because it's a biased sport. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm just putting it down the middle, how it really supposed to go. It really supposed to go all the major battle rap bloggers who cover it. We cover this stuff. We cover it at the battles. We cover it after the battles. We cover it. Y'all, that's what y'all like. Our recaps. Y'all come after that's when we get our most numbers. When the event is over, we do the recaps. Everybody want to know what we thought. What did Battle Truth think? What did Angry Fan think? What did Piper Boy think? What did Butterfly think? What did they want to hear that? What did they say? Who did they think? Were they in agreement with me? Were they in agreement with us? See, that's why I rock with them, because they think just like I do. That's what it's about. But that don't be the case. See, and that's the problem with the Champion of the Year. When you got feelings involved and you don't have the best interest of the battle rappers, to the point that when you got everybody in battle rap have a say so, the major people who know that covers this, it don't matter how you feel about them. What matters is you can't take away these people with known in battle rap. These people have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers and subscribers who follow them and respect what they say. You don't have to agree with that. But it's the truth. But it's the truth. And in so much saying something like that, what happens is you can't leave that out. That have to count for something because they the ones cover it. And they got major people that actually respect them that you get what I'm saying? That's how you do that type of stuff. And it should be a criteria based upon people channels and how big their channels is. That should matter. It should matter if you need at least 10 to 20,000 subscribers or better. If you ain't got 10 to 20,000 subscribers or better when it comes to awards like this, because you can't get everybody in battle rap opinion that covers it. But if you ain't got 10 to 20,000 subscribers, you shouldn't be voting on that. If you don't know how to rap, I think that matters too. Because this rap, we dealing with rap. Like you don't have judges and like when you do judges, when people judge things, they also in it. You don't have people judging. You can't judge a rapper if you don't know how to rap. You can't judge a beauty pageant if you wasn't once a part of a beauty pageant. You can't judge a singing contest for the most part if you're not a singer. You can't really judge. I'm talking about real who know what goes into these things, who know the preparation behind the scenes, who understand when a person took off, who understand. Like sometimes a person can do something, and because you professional at what they doing, you can tell when they took off. You can tell when they did something lazy, but the talent can overshadow it as a result of how good it sounds. Because you know that they played it safe. Like, yeah, you did a safe song. You know how to sing. You played it safe so you can get by. This person, the song he took, even though they could sing, they didn't play it safe. They challenged themselves on this. They get more points for that. Same thing when it comes to cooking. You can't judge a cooking show if you don't know how to cook. Because it's more than how it tastes. You have to have the knowledge of they played it safe with this dish. They did this, added this, that was safe. This dish right here is more creative. Not only do it taste good, they took a chance with this. They added this and that. That could usually hurt the flavor. But the way that they did it, they made it complement the flavor. See, that's the purpose of having judges that's experienced in what you're doing, because we can recognize and understand by knowing how to do it ourselves that you took off. We can read between the lines that sometimes people who don't have the experience is blinded by because they don't have the experience in it. That's very important. I always said that. You can't judge. Look, let me hear you on a beat. Let me hear you on a beat. I need to know you really understand these things. If you can't rap, ain't no use of judging. If you can't rap, ain't no use of you judging something in rap. You know how to rap? I think that matters too. That matters too. I'm just saying it's a lot of considerations that go up into this, man. Um, then you got a lot of biasness. You got a lot of friendships. You got a lot of people who you got a lot of battle rappers who know you're gonna be on the panel, and by you being friends with them, I know they whispering in your ear. If you, especially in the rankings or in the runnings, you're gonna make a strong case and argument for them because you know they watching. Everybody watching at this time. So you ain't gonna try to play your guys. So, it's stuff like that. So I see why it's a lot of disappointment in what's going on. A lot of shade, a lot of hate. But I keep it real like this, man. In contests like this, it's only won award. It ain't no runners up. Either you first or you nothing. I am number one. 2 is not a winner. 3, nobody remember. I am number one. 2 is not a winner. And 3, nobody remembers. I am number one. That's how they go. Real talk. And it matters, you know? So I get people don't like to be runner up to nobody, especially in battle rap where it's a lot of egos, it's a lot of pride, it's a lot of arrogance. That's something that a person can hold over your head. Then you get that belt you bring to the ring and showboating it in front of people, and it represents that I was the greatest this year and I outshined everybody. So yeah, I can see it. But this is another reason why when your name is called and it's time for you to take care of business, you do what you have to do, because you never know who's watching. You never know what's going on. You never do. It definitely need to be some changes. It shouldn't be the same people on a panel every year. You had 2 Black Compass media on there. That should never be the case unless they vote and counting for one rather than 2 separate votes. That shouldn't be on there. But again, this is a URL award thing. This is not something that's, see, they present it as though it's legitimate, it's real, and called down the line, but you know it's not. Anytime you don't get the people involved in it that matters, it's not real. It's not real. And I'm just keeping it 100. You have to have the Angry Fan, Piper Boys, Butterflies, Battle Truths. You have to have 3 Letter Men. You have to have those Hip Hop is Real's 15 Minutes of Fame. You have to have those media's input. You have to have those. We like big platforms in battle rap. You have to have that. You get what I'm saying? It ain't about how you feel. I don't like them niggas, this and that. You have to have that because the culture is standing behind them. The culture is standing behind them. You can't ignore the following. You can't ignore the platforms. So how do you have, and there's no disrespect, how do you have friends them up there who barely cracking 1,000 subscribers being a nail in the community? No. When it comes to things like that, no. That's just, come on, man. Y'all destroy my gavel. Come on, man. No. No. It don't work like that. You have to do better. And it can't be the same thing. Y'all have to rotate that stuff. You have to rotate it. You literally have to rotate it. Can't keep having the same people up there because then they get comfortable. They get comfortable with the biasness. It needs to rotate so that you could even, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. I can't tell y'all what to do with y'all stuff. Do what you do. It is what it is. It don't even matter how the people feel. It don't really matter how the people think. This is the criteria that the URL put in play. The URL made it possible for these things to be happening. For the most part, whoever wins Champion of the Year is going to be promoted, pushed on the URL and exclusively to just the URL. So this is the URL thing and what they choose to do. That being said, it's your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment. That's some questions. It's yours. Subscribe to Battle Truth.